Hey, Two Talent, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? Wait, that's, I need to actually go to the log station up here. Alright, let's head over here. And then from here, we're gonna head this way. Let's get that out of the woods. That'd be preferable there. Alright, let's do that. Cool, perfect. I don't know, for a second there I was worried about my speed limit, and I was all like, it's not really something I need to worry about. Man, this route's a little easier without a trailer behind me. Hey, Mom! How are you? You watched the animated Vox Machina this morning? Nice. All 3 episodes? It's good, isn't it? Cappy and I watched that last night. I've watched all of Critical Role twice now, and oh, you just watched him groom those setters? Yeah, I watched that last night. I thought it was disgusting how the hunters just take those dogs out there, and then they figure out the dogs aren't really good hunting dogs, so they just leave them in the woods. Ugh, fucking garbage. How close is it to actual Critical Role? Pretty damn close, honestly. I mean, they're obviously cutting a lot of stuff for time and whatnot, but as far as the meat and potatoes are concerned, it's all 100% accurate. There's even subtle nods to stuff that come later or are in campaign 2 and not actually campaign 1. It's just like there's little things that are little shout outs to the fans about stuff that they want to do in the future if they get enough seasons. But there are specific lines from the show that are lifted directly from the actual live sessions. So they're being really accurate. It's a great, like, I love Critical Role. I'll always love Critical Role. It's amazing. But even with how much I love Critical Role, that animated series has no business being as ridiculously good as it is. It is stupid good. But there's still, a lot of stuff that's left out that if people decide, hey, this looks really good as an animated series, I want to go watch the live show, there's still lots of stuff from the live sessions that's being left out solely because of time constraints. So, like, the first 2 episodes of the animated show are a storyline that occurred before they started live streaming. Because I think when Campaign 1 first went on Twitch, the characters were already, like, level 7. I think. And the first 2 episodes were a storyline that they played at home before they went live. And then episode 3 of the animated show is like episode 24 of the live show, I think. So that tells you how much stuff they're leaving out, you know? I don't think they'll do anything between those 2 animated episodes and episode 3. By the animated show, is there a way to tell what their level is or when they level? I don't know. We'll have to see if they do anything special about that. They'll probably just do something along the lines of like, hey, I've got some new abilities. You know, they're probably not going to do like, hey, I'm leveling up, I feel stronger all of a sudden. I think it's just going to be like, they're going to be like, you know, they're going to have a major story arc, and at the end of this, at the beginning of the next story arc, whatever that is, now they have new abilities. Or maybe halfway through the story arc, they get new abilities. That they're like, I didn't know you could do that. And they're like, I didn't know I could do that either. Wow, I'm so cool. You know, stuff like that. That seems probably like the smart way to do it. They wouldn't have leveled in those 3 episodes? In the real live show, yeah, they definitely did. And I'm sure they will have in the show. But it's not going to be like a video game. They're not going to be in a fight, kill a monster, and all of a sudden, blah, everybody gets this gold light around them that shows that they leveled up. They're not... I highly doubt they're going to do anything like that. you're trying to be vague. And they're going to try to be vague on the leveling up. While that's an important part of D&D, it's not really going to be an important part of the animated show, I don't think. I think it's just going to be like, hey, I can do new cool stuff all of a sudden. They kind of touched on some of the stuff in the very first episode when, like, that one point when Pike was trying to heal and couldn't. And that was like, well, she ran out of spell slots. She can only cast that spell a certain number of times per day, and she can't cast it anymore. And they can't just be all like, oh, I can't cast it anymore today. They had to build, like, a story reason why she couldn't do that. So she's like, I'm still weak from when I did it earlier. And it's like, as soon as that was said, everybody on, like, I'm sure everybody who knows D&D was like, she's out of spell slots. But it's a better way to say it than to try to explain how to play D&D in an animated series. That's the purpose of the animated series, primarily, is to get new people into the show that are intimidated by everything else. And it's just like, no, look how fun this can be. Look at the cool stories. Ignore the math, ignore the dice rolling, ignore the leveling up, ignore spell slots, ignore all that. This is just a ridiculously good story. All right. All right, take 4 sets of medium logs to the island. Worker's house. Lighthouse keeper, which is Cletus. And then 2 to the farm. Okay. So if we come back here, I can go to the trailer and get that. That takes me to the dam. That takes me to the island. I think this takes me here, I think. Wait, this is the wrong island. I think it takes me here. Because I'm pretty sure this is the dam entrance. So if I go here, I'll probably do the 2 to the farm first. So let's start with that. When are new ones coming out? There's 3 new episodes every Friday?
Yeah.
For the next four weeks in a row. Because there's 12 episodes, so... This last Friday was 3, next Friday will be 4, 5, and 6, then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. With 12 being the finale of this season. Let's see, I want the log trailer. Yep. Alright, let us head... We're gonna go like this. And then over here, pick up some logs. And we'll head this way. But yeah, if you wanna, if you're like interested enough in the show that you want to get caught up with the actual live campaign episodes, you can watch up to episode 24, I think, and that'll get you caught up. And that should be like 40 hours. So you're definitely not going to get caught up in a week. Do I think they'll cover the whole campaign in 12 episodes? Absolutely not. Let's say there's only 10 episodes, because 10 episodes is going to be one story. The 10 episodes from season 1 are one main story arc from the first campaign. That's it. They're probably going to go from... The first campaign was 115 episodes, okay? I think the 12 episode season 1 is going to cover up until like episode 45 or so. I forget when this storyline ends. It's probably not even that long. Probably more like episode 35. So it's really only going to cover about 10 to 12 real life episodes, except they're condensing a like 4-hour episode down to about 30 minutes. And then of course they're compressing, like if there's an episode that has 2.5 hours of shopping, they just cut that out.
They said it ends on 38.
This storyline ends on 38? Okay. So like 24 to 38 is this storyline, and they're gonna do that in 10 episodes.
Yeah, Briarwood Arc episodes 24 through 38.
24 through 38. So yeah.
Exactly what you said.
In the live session, this season 1 is only 14 episodes in the live session. So condensing it down to about 10 animated episodes shouldn't be that hard. Oh.
Chug, chug.
Thank you, Cappy. You checked my stream. You work hours. My work hours I work are Monday through Friday nights. Monday through Thursday, you don't get home until about 9:30 or 9:45. And I've been on other Twitch channels. I'll keep your updates too. And Fridays, I only work until 4. Okay. So, I don't know what time zone that is, but if it's my time zone, which is Central, then I usually end at about 10. So that sucks. But I mean, weekends, I usually stream twice on the weekends. I didn't stream this morning because I had work to do. So I mean, you can definitely catch me on the weekends. And then you'll be able to catch me for an hour or two on Fridays, I guess. No worries. There's no real reason. Like, I'm not sitting here like taking roll call to be like, who's here today? These are cool people. Everybody else sucks because they didn't show up on Thursday, or whatever. Normally, I also take Thursdays off, so don't worry about Thursday. Generally speaking. That being said, I am going to take next Sunday afternoon and evening off. I'll probably stream Sunday morning, but I'll take the rest of the day off on that Sunday because Cappy and I have a date planned. Not tomorrow, but like 8 days from now. But that's also why I put all my streams on my YouTube channel. So if you find that you miss a lot of my streams, they will be posted to YouTube shortly thereafter. I think I'm only about a week behind on YouTube right now, which isn't too bad. I need to make a command that shows my YouTube video schedule. Because I in Discord, I don't know if you're in Discord, Mo, but in Discord, there's a link to a Google document that shows when all my YouTube videos are scheduled to be published. I try to be about a week and a half ahead, because sometimes I'll go out of town for a week. So when I'm out of town for a week and not streaming, I want to make sure YouTube still has videos going. But yeah, unless something really terrible happens, all of my streams go to YouTube. I've only had like 2 or 3 streams not go to YouTube because of something stupid. Also, for those people that really enjoy them, tomorrow is going to be another Twitch highlight video coming out on YouTube of a bunch of old, funny streaming moments. Those seem to be really popular, so I'm going to keep doing them as long as I have clips. Cousin Cletus has my favorite mission. Nah, screw that guy. Cousin Cletus is terrible. I'm gonna leave his mission for last because it sucks. I may wait until like Lucid or Athos can come help me with that one. Maybe Curtis. Curtis would probably be harder to get in here, though. But yeah, man, if you get if you watch the animated series and you get really into it, you should really watch the actual show. Did your wife watch it too, Talon? Okay. It's not her kind of nerdy stuff. She doesn't do aliens or sci-fi? Well, in all fairness, this is more like Lord of the Rings than aliens and sci-fi. That might be worse? Okay. Well, there you go. Never mind. Tell her there's romance and sexy dudes. If she's into musical, tell her there's lots of singing. There's a Scanlan. She doesn't have that kind of an imagination. Oh, I'm falling. Let's do it like this. That's a little more comfortable for me. I don't know. Tell her there's jigsaw puzzles in it? I don't know. I guess at that point it's fine. I'm not trying to find a way to force her to watch it, you know? Last thing I want to do is force somebody to watch something they don't want to watch, because that's just going to make them bitter about it. Then it's like, wasn't that cool? And they're going to be like, I guess. And then you're like, well, shit. Never mind then. Alright. Well, that's fair. Okay. So we came in on the opposite side that I thought we would, which honestly might be better because I might be able to get to this gas station before I run out of gas. Also, hey Baka, I went ahead and wrote you down as absent today, so you're gonna have to make this up. 3 more of these and you'll lose your mod status. Just kidding. Last thing I want is for somebody to be like, what? No! I'm joking. You'll make it up by timestamping that YouTube video? Okay. There's another one tomorrow too, by the way. Right. Yeah, that's fine. You can kind of eyeball it and then message me and be all like, is this all right? And I'll be like, nope, you're wrong. And then make you guess what's wrong. You missed us talking about Legends of AwesomeMattG a lot, though. Oh, I don't have all-wheel drive on. Whoops. Yeah, they've done a great job so far. I'm very pleased. Pretty much everything I've read has been like, oh my god, it's stupid amazing. All the reviews are just praising it like crazy. I did read one article where the person was like, this is probably the worst animated show I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm pretty sure that person was probably paid by their website to write that. So that they could get a lot of clicks for people going, oh my god, is this person stupid? Like, everybody's entitled to their opinion. But they were like, their big complaint was it's cutting out information from the live show, and it's like, I think the article was entitled, "This is a poor replacement for the live show," and I was all like, it's not a replacement, you idiot. It's in addition to. Try to get to the gas station. Gotta get the clout. Yeah, they're gonna get a lot of hate clicks on that website. I will say the only comments in the bottom of the article were people agreeing with her, and then there were a bunch of other comments that were listed as deleted by moderators. So I'm pretty sure it was a bunch of like Critical Role fans going, is this person dumb? And then being like, these are offensive comments, I'm taking them down. It's amazing how quick the combat goes. Well, I mean, it may take like 2.5 or 3 hours sometimes in a live session for a really important fight, but then when you realize you break down all those turns into real time, and you realize that this like 2.5, 3 hour fight maybe took like 45 seconds in real time. Because they're like, you know, one turn in D&D is 6 seconds. So yeah, it took 10 turns for that entire fight, but that's only 1 minute in real time. They're basing it on anime and other animated shows and not on D&D. No, it literally felt like the article was written solely to bash Critical Role and Legends of Vox Machina, because like literally they couldn't think of a single redeeming value of the show. You know, it wasn't valid criticism. You know, valid criticism is like, I don't like this, I don't like that. These other things are okay, or they're fine, or I'm happy with those. But these couple of things kept it from getting like 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 or whatever score people think it's supposed to get. But when somebody comes in and they're like, the stories are terrible, the voice acting is bad, the animation is bad, the music is bad, the singing is bad, you know, the combat is bad, you don't get as much backstory, this is bad, that is, and you're just like, oh my god. Like, it's okay if you hate something, but like, jeez, this person really hated it. One of the things that made it pretty obvious to me that the person who wrote the review either A, wrote it specifically for the I hate this show and to get the clicks, or B, didn't watch it at all, is one of their main complaints was that they're, because it's an animated show, there's not going to be any cute tongue-in-cheek references to other things from earlier episodes and stuff like that. And I'm like, you obviously didn't watch the show, because there were at least half a dozen references to other stuff in the animated series from the live games. Like, there were a lot of references. Obviously, to Talon, you didn't recognize them because you don't know. But like, I recognize them. I'm sure Baka recognized them. Cappy recognized them. So it really felt like the person was just hating just to get the clicks for it. Get a bunch of Critical Role fans riled up and angry so that they could click on the article so they can yell at the person. But any logical person reads the article and goes, okay, this person is just being inflammatory to rile people up is really all they're doing. You often don't over-criticize things. Well, it's not even, like I said, it's totally, I'm totally fine if somebody watched the show and they're like, I didn't like it. Okay. That's fine. But like, this article had blatantly false information in it. There's no references to anything else because they can't make references in the animated show the same way they do in the live shows. And I'm like, there were lots of references. But I mean, in all honesty, yeah, like Baka said, there's going to be a lot of websites that have rave reviews about this show. And as of right now, there's only one that has hate. So if you want to hate on it, there's really only one website to click on. And that's probably what they're going for. Yeah, exactly. That's one of the things, like, I give people such a hard time with Cyberpunk, for example. Like, I posted that clip in Discord of me getting on my motorcycle and it having me spawn underground for a second, and then I got off and the game fixed it real quick, flipped my motorcycle over. And I posted it in Discord, and I forget who said it, but somebody was like, wow, talk about fucking jank. No wonder this game still sucks. And I was just like, okay, first off, The Witcher 3, made by the exact same company, gets rave reviews. Everybody says it's one of the best games ever made. There are times in The Witcher 3 where you'll call your horse, and the horse will just appear on top of a roof. Like, it's on top of the roof of the building next to you, and you're just like, well, fuck, horse. And people are all like, The Witcher 3 is the best game ever. And I'm like, yeah, it is. It's a stupid good game. But you take something like the horse spawning up there and they're like, oh, that doesn't mean anything. The rest of the game is amazing. But you get on a motorcycle that flips you upside down, and first they're like, terrible game, 0 out of 10, unplayable. And I'm like, see, it's not, you're not applying the same level of critique. Yeah, exactly. People are like, is the game still buggy? I'm like, it's a AAA game. Every AAA game is a little buggy. No gamer nowadays expects to get their game and play it and never run into any bugs. Shoot, Skyrim's been out for like, what, 15 years now? And it's been remade like 4 times? It's still buggy as hell. But people still keep buying the Anniversary Edition and the 15th Anniversary Edition and the Remastered Edition and all that. And I'm like, the bugs are still there. They don't fix the bugs. They're just putting a fresh coat of paint over the top of it and reselling it again. Don't talk about Baka like she's not here. I don't think Baka's the one selling the game. She's just buying it. You still need to get the Anniversary Edition? No, you don't! There's nothing different between the Anniversary Edition and, like, the Remastered Edition that you can't do with mods. That's the whole thing. Just download a couple of mods and you've got the Anniversary Edition. Don't buy it again. All the bugs are still there. They just integrated, like, half a dozen mods. And then resell it. You're modding Cyberpunk? I'll probably look into that after the DLC comes out. The problem with modding Cyberpunk right now is if they release the DLC, I'm going to want to get it really quickly, and then all your mods will break. You'll do it on a different save file than the one you want modded? You can't, it won't work like that. The base game will get updated. The mods are interfacing with the base version of the game. If the base version of the game goes from 1.31 to like 1.5, mods still don't work. Something to be aware of. I'm not going to try to talk you out of not modding the game, because that's going to be awesome regardless. I just want you to be prepared for that. Okay. So, the farm is done. So, this is the entrance to the dam. Are there logs at the dam? I need to go here. No. Yes. Medium logs at the dam. Okay. So what I should do... Is there a trailer store here? No. Oh yeah, but what I was referring to, like, if you're halfway through your modded playthrough and they release the DLC and you download it, now your modded playthrough is broken. I wasn't referring to the base game that you play the DLC in. You'd either have to remove the mods to continue that playthrough, or you'd have to, or you'd have to just, like, start over. I guess you could play through the your DLC playthrough and then wait for the mods to update, and then reinstall the updated mods and then continue your modded playthrough. You could do that. As long as you're prepared for that, that's fine. I worry about that in certain titles because there have been times where I'll go and, like, find a mod that I used like 4 or 5 years ago and realize that it hasn't been updated in 4 or 5 years, and it just doesn't work anymore. And then I'm sad because I can't use it. So I'm always concerned about that when I play when I do a playthrough on a game that's actively being updated, because I'm always afraid that I'll start using a mod and an update will come out and it'll break the mod. And I don't want to have to take it off. But the one thing I was disappointed about was I had contacted a couple of mod creators for Cyberpunk, and I was like, hey, I want to take the timer out of some of the dialogue choices in the game. Can you do that? Like, is that even a thing? And nobody replied except for one dude. One dude replied and said he looked into it and he was all like, it's built into the game engine. It's like hard-coded into the dialogue choices so it can't be modified. And I was like, well, that sucks. I'm sure it could, like, in theory, actually be taken out or modified in some way, but it would take, like, a ridiculously large amount of work just to do that small adjustment. You know, they'd have to like modify the game engine, not just like tell the game to let me wear new clothes. It's actually like, okay, game engine, you're gonna need to work differently, and that affects the entire game, not just the dialogue choices. So it's like, yeah, that's not exactly like a weekend kind of, I'm gonna knock this mod out real quick. Alright, so we're going to go to the dam and get the last two logs, the last two mediums for this one. And I think coming back through the dam instead of coming back through the lake is probably the best option, because that lake road was getting really difficult to deal with. And I don't think the dam's near the swampy area at the dam, I don't think it's nearly as like suction mud. Like there's mud and water at the dam, of course, but the one on the lake felt much more like, I don't know how to say it other than the mud felt like it had more suction to it. That makes any sense whatsoever. You ever get your foot stuck in the mud and pull it out and it's like, you know? That's how the lake felt. Sticky, yeah, sticky's a good way to say it. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Alright, so we're gonna come over here. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna go to the trader store real quick. We're gonna do this, we're gonna work smarter, not harder. Bonk. Over here. I did this the wrong way, but that's alright. Turn like this. Alright. We're gonna go detach. Cool. And then we're gonna go recover. I was gonna hit exit game. That's definitely not what I want to do. Alright, so from here, we're gonna go... Go through the farm, up to there, and then we're gonna come back. Okay, then we're gonna do this snake bend here. We're gonna get fuel and then come out here. All right. Dodged. And once this is delivered, that should be it for the logs. I don't think I'll have to deliver any more logs at all. Which will be awesome! Whoops, losing control here. There we go. Yep. Let's do all-wheel drive here, that'll help a little.